Hi guys and welcome back to Lisa Lives. I'm just chilling in my living room today and I'm doing another tag video of sorts. The mood is for the tag video in this current climate. So I actually saw one that was a little bit different. Now 3 people have done this so far. We have Beth from Red Rum Records, H&S Collectibles, David's Horror, and I've really enjoyed, basically this is a tag with 50 questions. I think it's called Dig a Little Deeper. Yeah, Dig a Little Deeper 50 questions. And this is 50 very simple questions for you to answer to let people know a little bit more about you. Now I love this kind of thing. I did a tag like this, oh my god, maybe 3 years ago, called the Getting to Know You tag with a very similar premise, and I loved it. But this is just random questions that have been put in the tag. I'm not sure where the originator of the tag is, but I first saw it on Beth's channel, Red Rum Records. So I'm just going to kick off with these 50 questions. If you want to do the tag, I'd love to hear your answers. So let's get started. So number 1, do you prefer writing with black or blue pen? Definitely black all day long. I like black, you can tell. Number 2, would you prefer to live in the country or the city? Right, I grew up in a town, not really a city. I've never lived in a big city. Well, actually, I've lived in Nottingham and I've lived in Derby, which are, I suppose, cities. But I currently live in the country in Northern Ireland. It's very quiet, it's a farming community and I love it. I think if you're younger and you want things to be like full of life and clubs and pubs and stuff, maybe not, but at my ripe old age, I just like peace and quiet, so I love the country, so I'd prefer to live there. Number 3, if you could learn a new skill, what would it be? Right, I love languages. I did an A-level in German, GCSE and half of an A-level in French, Spanish I did, and I started to learn to teach myself Japanese, which I really need to get back and get back to do it. I would love, if I could have one talent in the world, it would be to be able to speak any language. I think that would be incredible, or at least maybe 10 languages fluently. I would adore it. So yeah, it would be to be able to speak more languages proficiently. You know, I can get by, you know, I can go and order something in a restaurant or ask the directions somewhere or have a bit of a, you know, like a very light conversation in German, but anything deeper than that, then I would struggle. Number 4, do you drink your tea or coffee with sugar? I don't drink tea. I have 1 cup of coffee a day and I have that with half a teaspoon of sugar. 5, what was your favourite book as a child? Right, that's easy. It's still my favourite book today. It's A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I've always loved it. I've always been obsessed by it. I have about 4 really nice copies of it, really old copies, like going way back over 100 years. And I actually have my childhood copy of A Christmas Carol. I'm not going to get up and go and get it, but I do, and it's really nice. It's red, sort of leather bound with gold engraving on the front. It's beautiful. Number 6, do you prefer baths or showers? Showers, because they're quicker. I do like baths with the whole bath bombs and all that stuff, but I struggle with my fibro sometimes to get out again. Depending on how my back and my joints are, it can be a bit difficult getting in and out of baths. Number 7, if you could be a mythical creature, which would you be? Every woman's going to say unicorn, aren't they? Beth said liger, but I think ligers exist, don't they? A cross between a lion and a tiger, they are a thing. Oh actually, no, I'm going to go dragon. I quite like the idea of being able to breathe fire, so dragon. Number 8, do you prefer reading paper or electronic books? Most definitely paper. I've never read an electronic book, just don't like the idea. What is your favourite item of clothing? I don't think I have a favourite item of clothing. I love anything quite retro. I like the sort of 70s style a lot. What I wear most often is t-shirts and leggings, or t-shirts and jeans. I've got quite a collection of like music and movie t-shirts, so I'd wear those a lot. I wear a lot of black, but I do love a sort of retro style. I don't think I've got a favourite item of clothing though. Number 10, do you like your name? Would you ever change it? I hate my name because it's one of the most common names in existence. I cannot watch television without seeing several Lisas in one day. If there's a quiz show, there's a Lisa on it. Adverts, there's a Lisa on it. Movies, there's Lisa in it. And other people, my husband's now walking about upstairs. People maybe think that's a good thing, but it isn't. It's so common. I like names that are not really, really weird, but a little bit different in that there's not loads of them. In my class at school, there were 4 Lisa's. It was a popular name at the time, clearly. Would I ever change it? The thought of no one ever calling you by your real name again, I wouldn't like that. So no, I would never change it. I still don't like it, but I would never change it. 11. Who is a mentor to you? I can't say anyone is a mentor to me. No, I've never really held anyone in that regard of being able to teach me loads of stuff and that I look up to. Not really. That's a really boring answer to that, but I'm afraid that's the answer. Number 12, would you ever want to be famous? If so, for what? No, never. Me and my husband disagree on this. He thinks that people that are really loaded rich, the fame is worth it because you have the option to have private jets and to go to islands with no one on it, blah, blah, blah. I don't feel that any amount of money is worth what people that are famous need to tolerate. The paparazzi in your face, no privacy, people making up stories about you that aren't true. I just think fame must be a complete and utter curse. I would hate it. So no, I would never want to be famous for anything. Are you a restless sleeper? I struggle to sleep at all. I really struggle. I don't sleep very much. I'm never asleep. If on a good night, I'm maybe asleep at 4 a.m. Most nights, 5:30 to 6 a.m. It's terrible. I really struggle with insomnia. When I do sleep, I didn't know this, but I talk in my sleep. I occasionally sleepwalk. I get out of the bed with my eyes wide open, fully awake or fully asleep, and then just say the stupidest of things. I have night terrors, which are just, well, I can't even, no, they're not night terrors, what's it called, sleep paralysis, where you can't move and you're seeing just all sorts of weird stuff. Sleep's a problem for me, I would definitely say. 14, do you consider yourself romantic? Once upon a time, yeah, I would say probably more so than my husband. Once upon a time, even when we met, I like remember sending him like a single blue rose. I remember sending him like a little message in a bottle thing, like wrote letters to him, stuff like that. I remember doing, I did the mixtape thing, of course I did. But we've been married now for, how long is it, 11 years, so I wouldn't say I'm particularly romantic now. That's maybe not a good thing, but I'm not. 15, which element best represents you? I would say, right, are we talking element? Are we talking earth, wind, fire and water here? If we are, I'm going to say earth. I feel I'm quite a grounded person. I'm a very normal person. I'm not a very artistic person. I'm not a particularly fiery person. So I'm going to say earth. 16, who do you want to be closer to? Now, is this physically or is this like emotionally, mentally? Physically, I would love to be closer to my best friend who lives in Nottingham in England. I lived in England for a number of years. I'm now back in Northern Ireland, so obviously my best friend is over the water in England and we rarely see one another. So I would love to be closer to her. Closer on an emotional level, I find it really difficult to make proper close friendships with people. I don't trust easily. It took a lot of years for me and Kelly to be close because I think she's very similar to me in that regard. She would be quite guarded as well, which I think is why we understand each other quite well. But I would like to be able to form relationships with others easier than I do. That's, a very, very awkward person socially, so it would be good to not be that way. 17, do you miss someone at the moment? I can't say no. Is this supposed to be like maybe someone that's died? I'm lucky in that the only people in my life I've lost are my grandparents. Obviously I was very close to them growing up. I lived with my grandparents and my parents as a child. But obviously I miss my friend Kelly. I miss seeing Kelly, but other than that, I can't say no that there's anyone I miss as such. 18, tell us about an early childhood memory. I'm making this way too long, am I not? My earliest childhood memory, my mum tells me I was 3. I could have been 2 or 3. I had no idea I remembered back that early. There used to be these bars of chocolate here called animal bars. They were just solid blocks of chocolate, quite small, like a Milky Bar size. and they had animals printed on, and someone bought me an animal bar, and I took myself off to the stairs and sat halfway up the stairs eating it. So great was my fear that someone would ask for some. I was greedy even then. And my mum thought everything was really quiet and went, "Look, Lisa, where are you?" looking for me in a worried state because I'd been really quiet. And she found me halfway up the stairs, pretty much at the bottom of an animal bar with chocolate smeared all around my face. Now, I still remember going to those stairs and sitting on there because I didn't want anyone to get any animal bar. My mum tells the story as when I went really quiet and went up the stairs to eat it, she didn't know it was to keep it away from them too. Greedy child. 19. What is the strangest thing you have eaten? I can't say. With Beth on this, I'm not a very adventurous eater. I've never eaten oysters, nor do I have any desire to. I don't like fish, so I've never eaten anything in a shell. I don't want to eat snails. I've never eaten insects, well, on purpose. I've had that thing where a midgie gets in your mouth. Oh, Jesus. But no, I can't say I've ever eaten anything weird or strange. Sorry, very boring. 20. What can you see outside your bedroom window? Right, well, I'm really lucky here. I recorded out my bedroom window this week for my vlog. I'll pop it in here. Look at that for a nice day. It is so sunny. Blue sky. Tractor in the background over there somewhere. So I live in the middle of the country. It's Ireland. It's beautiful. I'm spoilt. I do have a nice view out my window. If you do want to know more about me, if your life is that incredibly dull, I do have a channel where I purely vlog. I will pop the link in the description if you want to follow me. I vlog once a week and it basically covers what's went on in our family life that week, all sorts. So yeah, link in the description. Number 21, what are you most thankful for? So much. Having a home, having food on the table, having my husband, my son, to a degree my health. My health's not great, but it's a lot better than a lot of people have got. I'm not struggling to put food on the table and things like that. So yeah, I think we're in a very, very thankful, lucky position. 22, do you like spicy food? No, I hate it. To me, when you eat food, it shouldn't hurt. If it hurts you, it's not enjoyable. What are you eating it for? People eat curries and Breck sweats, and I'm like, why do you want to sweat when you're eating your dinner? I've got IBS, so I can't eat spicy food. It has really horrible repercussions for me. I get really bad pain if I eat anything spicy. A korma is as far as I can go, and even at that, some kormas I can't eat. I'm a wuss, so no, I don't like spicy food. 23, have you ever met someone famous? Yes, I have. I don't like meeting famous people because I never want to burst that bubble. I have met the lead singer from Steel Panther, who was an arsehole. So that wasn't a particularly nice experience. I have met the whole of my favourite band, Backyard Babies, who were amazing. I just love them. They're just wonderful human beings. I have met the absolutely incredibly awesome Billy Connolly, who was so polite and quite posh, it has to be said. I think I've met a few different people from a few different bands over the years, but Billy Connolly and Backyard Babies are the standouts really there. I'm so glad I met Billy Connolly, can't even tell you. 24, do you keep a diary or journal? Well, I keep the vlog, which to me is my journal. The main reason I keep it is purely so that I can look back at when Isaac was growing up and stuff that was going on. I like to have that record. I keep a diary and journal for many, many years growing up, but I stopped when someone I dated used to go hunting for it, find it, read it, and find something to have a go at me about in it. You know, it's meant to be your own deepest thoughts. He would use it to start arguments. Why have you written this? Blah, blah, blah. So that's when I stopped keeping a journal. 25. Do you prefer to use pen or pencil? Pen. 26. What is your star sign? I am Sagittarius. Supposedly fiery, very loyal to friends, which I like to think is true. But I'm supposed to be someone that loves travel. I've never enjoyed travel, but as I get older, and after having been to America once, I would love to see more of the world, really love to see more of the world, so maybe that's becoming true in older age, but I don't really go in for the whole star sign thing, but I'm a Sagittarius. As Billy Connolly would say, half man, half horse, licensed to shit in the street. 27, do you like your cereal crunchy or soggy? Most definitely crunchy. 28, What would you want your legacy to be? The most important thing to me in life, kindness is up there. Honesty is big time up there. It never ceases to amaze me how dishonest most people are. I think in the quest for popularity, most people are not even true to themselves. Most people put up with behaviours from others that are just repugnant because they don't want to shake the boat or rock the boat, that's the expression. I think bad behaviour should be called out personally. I would like to think I'm a person that when I'm not here, people would say she did what she thought was right, she was honest, and she was true to herself. And that's important to me. 29, do you like reading? What was the last thing you read? Right, I used to love reading. I don't get as much time these days. Actually, the last thing I read's here. I'm not finished it yet. I'm currently reading this, Progeny by my favourite author, Sean Hudson. He's like a horror author from the 80s, which obviously he still writes, but I read everything he does, I buy everything he does. The last thing I read was probably one of my son's school books, because I read a lot to him on an evening, so in full it'll be one of those. 30, how do you show someone you love them? Well, you can, I don't know, I'm terrible at the I love you thing. I'm really bad at it. I feel really stupid saying it. I don't say it often, I'll admit. And never to anyone other than my husband. I'm not one of these that finds it easy with friends and stuff. I think in your actions, in, little things you can do, like, always remember birthdays, Christmases, other times of year, be supportive, be there, make sure the people in your life know that you're there. I think do as much as you can for the other person. Be supportive. Be there. That would be how I show people I love them. 31, do you like ice in your drinks? Yes. In summer, most definitely. In cold drinks, I like ice. I think everyone that's answered this so far said no, but they live in the US and it's a lot warmer there than it is here. So we're not used to the hot weather, and when it gets hot, we need to cool down, so ice helps. I like ice. 32, what are you afraid of? Oh my god. I've got the usuals, heights, snakes. I am terrified of public speaking. I can't even tell you the panic I used to go through as a teenager in school. The thought, one of my favourite subjects in school was English and English literature, and I didn't take that for A level because I knew it would involve some degree of social speaking, and I couldn't do it, so I had to let the subject go. Which pains me, and I still have the issue to this day. If you asked me to get up in front of a room full of people and read something, I couldn't do it. I'm terrified. But I would say my biggest fear in life is anything happening to those I love, especially anything happening to my husband or son. The thought of something happening to them just terrifies me, so that would be my biggest fear in life. What is your favourite scent, number 33? If we're talking perfume, the original Prada I absolutely adore. It's my favourite smell. But if we're talking just general scents, I love the smell of coffee, vanilla, rose, quite heady scents I quite like. I'm not into things that are over sweet. I like things that are quite heady, and I don't want to use the word musky, but you know what I mean, that sort of thing. 34, do you address older people, that's just switched off, by their first or last name? Until told otherwise, by their last name, so it would always be Mr. or Mrs, whatever the surname would be. Obviously, if they say, oh, don't be silly, call me this, then I would call them what they asked, but I'm a big believer in giving older people a level of respect. And I think calling someone by their full name until given permission to use their first name is important. 35, if money was not a factor, how would you live your life? Right, the only thing that would change, now everyone has this discussion, if you won the lottery, what would you spend your money on? We will never be able to afford to buy a house. We rent. I would love to own my own house. I would probably build my own house to suit my own specification, to include a cinema room and spare bedrooms for like friends coming to stay and stuff like that. But other than that, probably a car each. I'd say me and Darren would like a car each and our own house and a nice holiday every year. Other than that, there's nothing really I want. I don't want designer handbags or shoes, which I always find ridiculous. When you watch quiz shows and women say, oh, well, I want a designer handbag or a designer, it's like, why? I don't want expensive jewellery or expensive perfume or designer clothes. I would just like to own my own house, have a nice car to drive, and have a nice holiday every year. And Beth said something that rang very true to me. I would like to do something useful with it. I would like to help people that needed the help. I would like to do stuff for charity. I would like, if you've got friends or family that are struggling, I would like to help them. I think if you've got finances, if you're rich, it bugs me. I have something in my throat, I do apologise. It bugs me that there are so many people out there with so much money, I mean billions, and they do nothing good with it. That irks me. More people that have should help those that have not, in my opinion. So I'd like to do a bit of good with it. 36. Do you prefer swimming in pools or the ocean? Definitely pools. Stuff in the ocean scares me. Jellyfish, we've got a lot of over here. Don't like jellyfish. Crabs. Definitely pools. 37. What would you do if you found $50, it says here, so £50 here, on the ground? It would depend where it was and who I was with. If it was in the middle of nowhere and there was no way of knowing who it belonged to, I'm keeping it. I'm sorry. But if it's somewhere like in an establishment, like a cafe, a restaurant, a pub, something like that. Well, pub, I don't know. I'm probably most of the time going to give it to someone and say I found this. But then my old brain would be saying in a pub, well, first of all, £50 note, someone who dropped that's obviously quite affluent, but would the person behind the bar give it to the rightful owner, or would they pocket it themselves? So I'd say if I thought I could get it back to the owner, I would do. If not, I would keep it. Dishonest as that may be. 38. Have you ever seen a shooting star? Did you wish on it? This is a thing. I find it really hard. People go, look, there it is, and I struggle to see things. I think I have. I'm sure I have. Did I make a wish? No, unfortunately I didn't, because I think I was too desperate to see it and delighted that I'd seen it to even think about making a wish. 39. What is one thing you would want to teach your children? So I've got one child, Isaac, and the one thing above all else I would like him to take from me is to be kind to others, but not to put up with other people's shit. I've put up with people's shit too much in life. And unfortunately, Isaac does seem to be quite similar in a way that he is going through a lot of bullying in school, and he won't stand up for himself. He won't fight back. He won't. I don't mean physically. He won't put people in their place. He's a very gentle child, very kind child, which is a good thing. But I'd like him to maybe stand up for himself a little bit more. I'm trying to instill confidence in him, but I think it's a thing with only children. I was an only child. My mum was an only child. Isaac is an only child. And in all the cases, not through choice of any of us, we all wanted more kids, but health prevented it. Yeah, kindness above all, but confidence in himself, I would like him to have a bit more of. 40, if you had to have a tattoo, what would it be and where would you get it? Right, I've got about 8 tattoos, I think. I'll put pictures up as I'm talking. I have another tattoo planned for my left forearm, which is the arm that's got a big space on it, but I'm not going to tell anyone what that is in case I don't get it. I don't know what I would like my next tattoo to be other than that one. I am tempted to have a Freddie Mercury portrait done, but I always get twitchy. It has to be someone really good so that it looks like them. It's not as easy as my other tattoos, which were quite simplistic. So maybe a Freddie Mercury portrait. And I probably have that on my shoulder. 41. What can you hear right now? Nothing. Silence. The dog's behind me snuffling a little bit, but that's about it. 42. Where do you feel safest? That has to be in my own home, at home. 43. What is one thing you want to overcome or conquer? Oh, I would love to overcome my fear of public speaking. Terrible. I'm awful. Fear of snakes, fear of heights. I can't see the fear of heights ever changing. Fear of snakes I probably could overcome with the right work at it. Public speaking I can't, so it would have to be the public speaking thing because I feel it's the one that gets in the way most in life. I'm awful. And I'm very awkward. There's a thing. Socially, I am very awkward. I'm not good at making new friends. I'm not good at talking to people in real life. Everything's fine online. You can chat because you don't have to be face to face. But face to face, I'm a very awkward individual. I'm very shy. I'm just not good with people face to face. It would be good to get over that. 43, right, I've done that. 44, if you could travel back to any era, which would you choose? Oh, I would have loved to have been a teenager in the 70s. All that music, the fashion. I was born a little bit too late. Yeah, I would say I would like to live through the 60s and 70s as a teenager and be in my 20s. So yeah, about 60s and 70s. 45, what is your most used emoji? Mine is a smiley face, usually when in communication with parents from Isaac's school friends about work that someone's forgot or something. So yeah, smiley face. 46, what is your favourite season and why? Now this used to be winter because I love Christmas and I love snow. Now as I get older, I love all the seasons. I cannot pick one for you. Winter because Christmas is my favourite time of year. Spring because of all the new growth with all the plants and the lambs are in the fields. Summer because my joints hurt less because it's warmer. Autumn or fall because I just love the fallen leaves, how everything looks on the trees. I like the weather at that time of year. I love Halloween. So all of them, I can't pick one. 47, how would you spend your ideal day? Now, I would have once said, go to the cinema to watch a really good movie, go to a Chinese buffet and eat as much as I possibly can eat, and that would keep me happy. But since going to Orlando in Florida, oh my god, just it's a whole other world. I would say if I could have a day in Animal Kingdom, having those pineapple float things with rum in, and going on Flight of Passage numerous times, Navi River Journey, Kali River Rapids. I love the whole feel of Animal Kingdom, especially the section based around Africa. I could sit there all day and listen to the music, which is beautiful, and have the henna tattoos. So my ideal day would be a day in Animal Kingdom in Florida. Describe yourself in one word. Awkward. 49, what do you regret the most? Oh, it's just, no, it's just too much. Allowing a boy to get in the way when I was doing my A-levels and not getting the grades that I needed to get into a local university. I could have got into one in England or Scotland, but my mum was very protective and wouldn't let me go. I didn't have the grades to get into the one that I wanted in Belfast, and I really regret not having been able to go to university. So yeah, that's probably one of my biggest regrets, but believe me, there are many, many more. 50, invent your own word. What does it mean? Oh shit, my own word. I can't think of one, and this is really boring, but every word that comes to me is already a word. Is collywobbles a word? I'm sure I've heard somebody say collywobbles, which means when you're a bit shaken about something or you're a bit nervous, you've got the collywobbles. I don't know if that's someone else's word or just a word I use. I've no idea. Collywobbles, being nervous about something. So yeah, I hope that taught you a little bit more about me if you were at all interested. I'm not going to tag individuals. I don't like to make people feel obliged, but like me, if you saw this and just really like the idea, I would love to hear your answers. I love to get to know below the surface with people, talk about something other than what movies we like. I just love to do it. So if you want to do it, feel free. And thank you for listening, and it's over and out from Lisa Lives.